Okay, I think it's working. I don't know. It was doing the circle thing over and over and over, and then it just glitched. Anyway, I had done the video on Sunday morning and gotten a response since, so I decided to go back and do a video, or not back, but doing now. I thought I had covered some of this already before, but I guess it was only in comments that I had put it, which means only like one subscribed person read it, right? So a month ago ish, I had started a chat or left comments, I should say, on another video. And excuse me. As soon as I start talking, everything goes to the recording, I should say. Anyway, so there was 3 parts, and there's a big long chunk that I'm not going to reread because that was, I think, the bulk of the previous video. But here's some comments that I had left that I may not have made a video covering, or they might be in an old video, and I'm just restating, but it doesn't matter. The original video was about what is smart casual, which is one of those amorphous terms. Like I said, I feel like I covered this, but and so I had just said, a necktie is definitely smart casual, bow ties too, denim jeans are not. There are different kinds of neckties, just like there are different kinds of sneakers, but none of the sneakers are really smart, just casual, same as polo shirts and many plaid ones. And of course, I'm wearing nothing that's fashionable right now at all. But this is, like I said, part of my winter reset or whatever video that I already did. Corduroy and some wool trousers would still work, just not so much when trying to use suit pieces as casual separates. But one time I wore a pair of patterned trousers with a sport jacket in similar colors, and everyone thought that was a suit. But casual suits are still smarter casual than no jacket. Just ignorant people might think, it's a little too formal for the occasion. But look at any Duran Duran video set in the tropics, and he's wearing a suit, but it's not a business suit. Okay, I feel like I said all this already, but it doesn't matter. Almost anything canvas should be treated the same as denim. I was going to bring it up at the top, but so few wear much canvas apart from heavy duty workwear already anyway. And Stridewise just did a video on this too, coincidentally, like several weeks later. Kind of like the thick wool flannel shirts. They're not for anything except for what they're for, which is working in cold weather, kind of thing. Anything untucked is automatically not smart. So again, it's a pretty simple rule overall, and that everyone wants to cheat for some reason now, and they think they don't look slobby, but just see any photo from the early 60s and copy that instead of blundering around wondering if you're dressed correctly to be smart casual, right? Or 40s through the 60s mostly. 40s, we don't necessarily think of as a casual era, but they did have casual styling. If you dressed like preppy casual from the 1920s, it's still appropriate, but then you need the correct weather for tweed jackets and V-neck sweaters and all that, and straw boater hats, right? Those will look costumey now, even though certain menswear channels still love their boater hats. Cardigans are also not smart. They are for home, by the fireplace, with the pipe and the dog. The robust Irish cable ones are also likely not quite refined enough. Zip neck is also really should be considered getting a C grade at best in terms of, proper style. You can wear them out and about, but they're not really dressy. A blazer is semi-formal and should likely always have neckwear. A sports jacket, see the distinction of blazer and sport jacket, I already did a video on that. A sport jacket still looks better with a tie, like I said earlier. Most of these suggestions that he was giving in his video were more streetwear than office appropriate. You just said no military style cargo pockets and then went for windbreakers and things with more military style pockets. This might have been a Stridewise video that I'm talking about instead of the other guy's video. So I might be mixing up my two guys. The other comments are from a different guy's video. And I had said boat shoes are fine with the correct outfit, but you have more leeway than wingtips with them for variety of, outfits, but they're all still going to be a lower formality look. I would not typically wear boat shoes with most suits. Again, the Duran Duran thing versus anything else. Leather jackets are a must, of course, for me, but also not if they're red or green leather or some funky thing, whatever. So this is where I had put the next bit in the comments in my post community menu instead of making the video. Some rando that I don't know if it's a real person or a bot. Everyone I tell about it thinks it's a bot, and it probably, it doesn't matter either way because somebody might read my replies and learn something from them. So I don't really mind feeding the troll a little bit. But Hypersonic says, I don't wear ties and I never tuck in my shirt, as if that matters to me at all. I should give a crap. So I just said, then you probably present way worse than you think you do. I honestly don't care what people think of me, no comma, but why does not tucking in my shirt, period, and never wearing a tie equal presenting worse? Because it just literally does, okay? So I said, you obviously do care on some level, or you wouldn't be watching this how-to style video. Unless you're already a billionaire, unlikely, chances are that you can't just dress like an 8th grade boy for every occasion for the rest of your life and be taken seriously by pretty much anyone. Good luck with that. So I'm already giving him the brush off, or it, because your stance is artificial. We'll get into that in a minute. And then I can't remember which parts were my responses to them and which parts were my other comments from the video now and blah, blah, blah. But so I'm just reading now at this point and hopefully not too redundant. Maybe the smart in smart casual, while intending to mean sharp, also means that somebody should be smart enough to know that jeans and t-shirts aren't for jobs that require more education than pushing a lawnmower and such. And not all jobs are corporate jobs, etc. But, and see, that was a comment I didn't mean to go directly to them, but it still went directly to them in the menu. And then I had put this just to be, salient or whatever. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. So in lieu of long rant about the 60s and Animal House and other stuff that I likely already covered in some video that hardly anybody watched anyway. Oh, in the 80s and Miami Vice and such too. And then aimed at your average troll. Still Rocky Road, all of my Billy Joel tribute. Okay, so that's repeating. The insufferable arguments of the incel was my rhetorical. And then, like I said, I had told other people, and they said I was wasting my time arguing with a bot. Some would say I waste my time, but someone else with half a brain may still come along and get something useful from the exchange, yes, which is the whole point of having a menswear channel. I left out the part also about private school kids whom can't wait to get out of their uniform when they get home and such. That which is not as much applicable in U.S. public schools since the 1970s, now that we have no dress codes anymore. But at some point, Hyper Diaper had come back with emo is no style, says who? My version is black t-shirt. Then in parentheses, band / has been hotel / Sonic, which I guess are dumb video games that adults should... I guess if you can play them for entertainment, but advertising that you play them is great way to meet women, I'm sure. Black wide leg pants, spiky bracelets, studded belt, and platform boots. See, at this point, I don't know if they're being legitimately serious or not. I know there are people who do dress like that, and they're not all Gene Simmons, but again, I don't believe this isn't just somebody, wasting everybody's time and jerking us around. Says who? Yeah, says me, loser. But I had disengaged largely from the conversation already now and thinking just waste somebody else's time. But then I changed my mind when I thought of something slightly better than pure insult rebuttal, because, again, this is likely a bot, but AI makes me stronger, right? So I said, well, then I guess hand curating accessories like spiky bracelets is totally what people do when they're sure no one is watching, and don't care what anybody doesn't care what anybody thinks of how they look. So yeah, you're likely full of crap one way or the other, but this sounds strictly performative and still has nothing to do with the topic of the video, which was what is smart casual attire. So hint, you're either a liar or a hypocrite or possibly both. Bless your heart. And quote, stupid as stupid does would be the more contempo phrasing of the previous thought. But hey, with your t-shirt collection or whatever, you want everyone to know you're a complete loser. Mission accomplished. So preloaded responses here. Lazy goth is not smart casual. And South Park already covered this 12 years ago or something. So then at some point, like I said, I didn't say all that to them. I said most of that in my comments, but on their comments to my one comment about curating accessories and the being full of crap and performative. Hyper Diaper says, aren't wide leg jeans and t-shirts enough? No, that's the whole point of the video. There's no good reason why you have to dress up to sit at a computer all day. I'm supposed to know that you sit at a computer all day. If I'm even slightly uncomfortable, it's all I can focus on. And then at some point I had put, okay, so these are out of order, about, okay, somewhere my comment got deleted or something or moved, but and then they had also replied, dress like an 8th grade boy. What does that even mean? My style is emo. Just because I watched a video doesn't mean I care what people think of me. So again, smart casual, if you're really dressed to sit at home or work from home, you're not dressing smart casual for public facing youth. So yes, you can sit at home and wear whatever the hell you want. But at this point, he's arguing that he has a legitimate point. He doesn't. And so I said, yes, I should listen to the words of the famous Emerson or the Pokemon internet guy if I want to present well. Emo is no style, actually. Oh, so this is out of order. Damn it. I hate this. But that's why 8th grade is hard. Oh, no, it's not totally out of order. Some chunk is just missing. Okay. Emo is no style, actually. That's why 8th grade is handy generalization for much of this, because it's when mostly your parents still buy your clothes, but you get to pick them out slightly more a bit. This is this repeating all of a sudden. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, so that went out of order a bit. Anyway, you get my point. You get his point. He has no point. Dress like a child and yet be again, it might just be the most boring ever to argue with, as will be evidenced in this next chunk. Now, in the next chunk, like I said, it's my last video mostly, so I'm not going to reread the whole thing. But I had, this won't be too bad. I guess we're going to come in a little under 20 minutes here, I hope. Because this is just a total rant at this point. But I had talked about, like I said, it was a different guy's video, but that somehow this bot found me again, even though I had left similar comments, like I said, about the Crocs, what to wear to court and weddings and a funeral. In passing, I wasn't dwelling on any of these things. They were just examples. And skinny jeans versus, straight leg jeans and all that. It's like I said, it's literally the last video that I did on Sunday. So Hyper Diaper comes in, and I had put this in the previous video in the comments, but we're going to delete it there and just leave it here probably. Is there an actual reason to dress up for a funeral? So I was still online. So I just said, I'm going to assume you're joking here, and logged off and didn't even bother. So then an hour later or so, I'm not joking. Give me an actual reason to dress up and don't say respect. I'll never understand how making myself uncomfortable is respectful. So again, this is either a completely maladjusted idiot or a boring computer. Being a buffoon with no social skills or graces is not ingratiating for starters. Your comfort is definitely less important or respectful to other mourners. Respect is the point of such occasions. Their grief matters more than your personal whatevers. Now, notice they went straight only to funeral, not other things such as your job or weddings or whatever. So I'm stuck talking about funerals now. I guess if you're an only child and your mom dies and nobody else is there, you can wear whatever you wish. But in any other circumstance, looking like a lazy ass is considered a bad thing. So if I need a menswear channel to explain this, we're really in trouble. Again, with the public-facing theme from his previous thread, or I should say, since I was addressing a specific entity. You're not so upset that you just can't tie a tie and lace up proper shoes. Now, and I think I had talked about this in a video I did 2 years ago or whatever. I will grant that, some people in recent years have made notes that they wish people to dress less solemn at their life celebrations. And the family usually tries to inform the guests in advance that more casual dress is preferred. But respect is still the bottom line there. You're respecting their wishes to not show up in all black in caps, which was the usual custom, again, up until 15, 20 years ago, maybe. But you still shouldn't look like you've got wrinkled crap out of the hamper just because it's not, a full formal black ensemble, even if you're wearing a polo shirt instead of with a tie or whatever they, specify in the thing. It's also one thing if you're 10 years old and getting dragged along and forced to wear the stiff shoes and the collar shirt, and it's annoying because your parents, every other day don't usually expect you to wear more than a grubby t-shirt to school, and they're raising you to be otherwise a caveman or something like this fake individual has become. But as an adult, if you don't like the person, then don't go. Skip the funeral, stay home and wear whatever you want. Seriously, you're not required to go. And I didn't even mention military vets. In this country, I guess we have laws to protect people who, don't deserve consideration or whatever. But, maybe in certain countries, they just toss you in before they lower the casket and nobody ever thinks of you again. I don't know. There's a hole already dug. And this rude idiot is here. Don't know. And also at the beginning, I should say endearing more than ingratiating. I kind of used the wrong word there. Again, even if this is just some casual business acquaintance and you're not worried about, some emotional bond with your nameless, faceless coworkers at their, funeral or whatever, it's still better to make a better impression than a worse one, especially just in case the boss or clients are present. Just a thought that, again, if you're a functioning adult, you might want to not self-sabotage through your stupid attire, your disrespectful and rude attitude or whatever else. So then, like I said, I had posted that, and then another hour later or whatever, they had come back and said, I can't wear ties. They give me a choking feeling. I don't know if you're a computer, it probably doesn't bother you all that much, but there is no getting me in a suit. It'd be so overstimulating that I'd spend the whole time adjusting everything. I don't wear dress shoes ever. You're lucky I wear all black by default. Why am I lucky? I couldn't care. Like I said, I couldn't care. It's better to let me wear what I want than force me to conform. Okay, sure. Well, fortunately, I'm not in your family. I'm not in your friend circle if you're even an actual person. So that doesn't matter. Again, you want to be a isolated, alienated, antisocial dickhead, that's strictly on you. Nobody's stopping you. But here's where, again, it gets completely performative and artificial. You can't wear ties. They give you a choking feeling. There's big fat men in business suits that wear ties all the time. You know why? Because they don't tie it too tight and they have the correct size collar. Okay, this collar's a little bit too small. I can't button it comfortably. Therefore, I would not wear a tie with this shirt. I would get a different shirt that actually fits to wear with a tie. Okay? I already talked about that in another video 2 years ago. There is no getting me in a suit. Well, you know what a suit is? A suit is a pair of pants and a jacket that match, period. They are matching fabric. So how it's any different than wearing any other pair of pants and any other jacket, your emo, whatever he set up here, his emo fat pants, or you can get a suit that has fat pants. David Byrne did that back in the 80s. There's a whole concert video of him in a big fat guy suit that's 3 sizes too big for him. Okay. So I don't know how it's overstimulating to have two things that match when you claim you wear all black all the time, because black and black matches, or at least it's supposed to. So you already know how to match a shirt to a pants. You just don't know how to do it with a jacket and a pants trouser in nicer fabric that costs more. Sounds like you're just a cheapskate and a lazy idiot. If, again, you're even a real person, which I doubt. So what you would have to adjust apart from your belt, because they're just regular pants, same as the other pants you're already wearing. They just happen to be in a slightly nicer material and possibly a slightly different color. If, again, the family requests that you don't wear black, in which case you could wear gray or blue or something else. I don't wear dress shoes ever. Again, you're just lazy and cheap. Because, yeah, you're just making the lamest excuses here to waste my time, which is why I did not reply to this comment then, but I'm doing a video now because maybe people will. So yeah, my reply was don't care, ignores, obviously bot or complete loser. I'm making way more words for my video than I would have in my notes even. Yeah, it's better to let you wear what you want. Oh no, you might self-destruct in front of those people. Oh no, I'm super worried about how it's going to go if you have to wear something other than your bracelets and platform heels or whatever. Nonsense. So yeah, this is the crap that wastes our time. But again, it can be a learning experience for the rest of us because, again, there are people in their 30s and 40s and thing already who think and act same as this idiot. And it's perfectly fine to ostracize them from your family or your life or, you know, as needed. And in the business world, yeah, like I said, unless this guy's some tech billionaire or something, I doubt his services are very useful because their responses on here weren't much better than anything auto-generated to begin with. So I can't imagine how great of a programmer or whatever they are when they claim to be an emo genius that plays video games all day. Again, I think it is just the video game trying to play me, but that's okay because instant content. Somebody might watch it and all that. So, okay, well, yeah, it went a little bit longer than I had thought, but that's fine. Because, like I said, I expand everything once I get going because might as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And hopefully you are not as boring and stupid as that one who never comments on my videos, which gives me less likes and algorithms and all that junk. I don't know how it works, but we'll see. Anyway, so we still have a couple days before March. Well, 1.5 really. And so no boot video resets and things yet on the horizon, but we are in that last month of winter and it's about 80 degrees already here. So we're going to have a little bit of rain and no significant wardrobe change to report coming up on the horizon. So no reason to do a video on that stuff yet. And I'll keep you posted. Like I said, in the community posts, I put in the capsule shirts and things. And I did just watch another video on minimalism. 2, actually. I watched part of 1, well, 1.5. They were just stealing my talking points from my previous videos. I'm not even joking. It's like they found my video, watched half of it, and ran with it. And so that was ones that I did maybe a year ago, maybe less. I did the one that was definitely about rebutting the other woman's video, and then they just rebutted mine without crediting me or whatever, or mentioning that they might have seen somebody do content like this. You know, oh no, this is my original idea, even though there was 3 of them in a row that I saw that were all the same exact thing. And again, it was my thoughts being regurgitated pretty well. And then I also did those 4 about the cost per wear thing and all that. So if you haven't seen those, you can go back and check those out if you're more interested in that kind of content than this kind of content, or me just doing show and tells of holding up outfits and boots and things. You're the one, whoever you are. Hopefully you're not a bot. Hopefully you're an actual person who likes learning things and having discussions that are real and on actual topics, and doesn't sit around supposedly watching videos about stuff that they don't care anything about for no apparent reason. Because again, in the one video he says, oh, I'm not just watched because I watched a video. Oh, here you are in a similar video making similar comments. Okay, obviously you're trying to learn something for some reason if you're legit. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going on and on and on. Okay, I'll stop.